Oh, there we are. Technical difficulties. There we go. Go away. Now we're there. Good morning, evening, after everyone. I still need to change the stream title. We had some. I blue screened just before the start of the show, which is very unfortunate. So I had to quickly set up everything again so we could start in time. Rakychu is already on screen, laughing his ass off once again. So I'm
Could
gonna
you
change.
mute Skype?
Oh shit! Oh,
Close.
nice.
I'll be like,
Here we go. Rip. Alright, we're there. We're there. It's I forgot. But how are you doing? While I
yeah,
change
I'm
the stream
doing
title.
okay. Yeah, I'm doing alright. Like, had a reasonable Christmas. A ton of time to play Gigantic, which has been nice.
Yes.
How's your time been since we last been here on podcast?
Yeah. Pretty good. Actually, had a very nice Christmas. Made some fucking lamb steaks.
Oh, lamb.
Yeah, it was pretty
That's
good.
great.
It was my first time making like fucking braised meat or something. Like it was like a
Nice.
sick roast and shit. So
Yeah, we slow cooked a turkey for Christmas. That was amazing.
nice.
Love my slow cook food. Like,
Yep.
so easy to do and so tasty.
Mm-hmm. You just make a bit of shit and then throw it in the oven for 2 to 3 hours, and then you don't have to watch it. Don't have
Oh
to
no,
look at it
no,
again.
we put it in the day before. We put it in the
a
day
day
before.
a day before
Yeah,
even.
one of those
Jesus.
one of these like pots which just heat overnight, so like, your whole house smells of the meat. Like it's
Oh
fucking
damn,
amazing.
That's real good though. Yeah. I think it's a little too late because like there's always a certain threshold on which day it's like appropriate to still wish someone a happy new year. You know,
Yeah.
Cause some days just like, yeah, we're not gonna do that anymore. And you haven't even seen them since Christmas, so it's like, oh yeah, happy new year, and then it's always a bit awkward or something. It's weird.
Yeah.
Because I always keep the 5th of January to myself. It's like after that you don't wish anyone like a new year, like a happy new year anymore. It seems arbitrary, but that seems to work.
I'm still getting used to in 2017 on several of the YouTube videos they were up as 2016 January. That was a bit awkward.
I have not gotten used to that, and I probably will not in time for my exams. So
Oh right.
yeah.
That could get interesting.
Yep. So writing 2016 everyone on everything, and making all the professors and like the correction people confused.
Why are we getting papers from last year?
Yeah, what? What's this? It's interesting. But so we're on episode 3 right now after our little break. We have a couple things to talk about. We should start with like the smaller things, which is obelisks.
The obelisk.
The first thing coming in
First new creature.
Yeah, first new creature. Even before a couple of the old,
Yes.
which was
That
weird to me.
Interesting. It's interesting. I think it's an interesting mechanic they're bringing in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they've really achieved the aim with the creature though. I don't know what your thoughts on it, but the creature because the creature's taking one of the 3 slots you have. I just feel it's so situational. It's not worth running.
Yeah. I almost think like it would be better if you just have a separate obelisk slot. If
Like
everyone-
a 4th slot.
Yeah, that could be interesting. Like, because everyone has obelisks to summon. That'd be.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting, especially if they keep doing these types of creatures, like creatures that can go on neutral on any point, so enemy points. If they have like families that are just dedicated to that, like you can summon it on enemy points, then you can kind of justify that 4th creature slot for being just for that type of mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
However, I feel just having obelisks as a 4th creature is at the moment could be a bit. Yeah, it could cause a lot of trolling because everyone would have
definitely.
it, and everyone would be summoning it on A, and I'd cry.
Yep. You gotta get that extra experience for your team though.
Mm.
So that's now we're getting into the actual uses of the creature.
Yeah.
So one thing is that you can summon an obelisk on like one of your back points, and then like upgrade it as soon as possible. Or, like
You need to upgrade that as soon as
as soon
possible,
as possible.
though. Like the only real like things that I've thought about that would be justifiable and decent is like on maps like Ghost Reef, you could have someone rush to D and just instantly spawn it on D and have them summon it. Because if you get it up, when the enemies kill it, it's not going to give them any power. It'll give them a small amount of EXP and some focus charge.
Yeah.
Whereas when you will gain much more EXP than the enemies for just summoning it, because of the summon, when you summon something or upgrade something, you get a ton of EXP for it. So it can speed you up to getting to that level 5 power boost, which pretty much every hero has.
Yep.
When they get their passive traits. That's one of the main uses. There's been we've been throwing around some really weird, crazy, like, tactics you could do with it. Like, if you wipe them, you kill one of their creatures, but they're spawning, and there's an orb just about to spawn there, you can throw the obelisk there so that you can delay them being able to collect that orb so that you can potentially start a fight. And then you could do even more crazy of like BM strats where you just put them on every one of their enemy points just to go, lol, we control everything.
Yeah, the green map is back.
The green map is definitely back. Well, you need 2 people to run them though.
Yeah, if you would, probably don't want that right now. So I just think they're a little weak. Just a little just on the HP side.
Definitely, they're so easy to kill.
Yeah, I believe they have only like 3,000 HP or something.
I haven't done the numbers.
But it's like, I believe like even baby creatures, it's about the same like health as a baby creature or something. You just take them out real fast. They don't really stall for really long, all that much, because that's what you kind of want to use them for. So they just melt.
I have one gripe about it. One of the special things about it is that you can summon 2 adults compared to other adults. That seems like, it sounds really awkward to do, because you need at least 1 obelisk baby to be able to upgrade it on an enemy point. And the fact that you only have 2 baby, is it 2 or is it 3? I can't remember. Of the babies.
Yeah, you have 2 babies.
You run out so quick that they're gonna die so quick. You're not gonna ever get to upgrade it, and like the only use for the adults is to summon on your own point. But why would you do that?
Yep.
Like, honestly, I feel if they want to do something special with the number of creatures, it should be 1 adult and like 4 babies, so that you have more options of using them.
Yeah.
Obviously, then you're running into dangerous territory of EXP boosting with summoning them. But it just seems really weird. Like, there was a tactic thrown around that if your team like goes down and there's only 1 person up and they're running obelisks, and you know they're going to be like rushing your C point, you could potentially, if that's a baby, you could potentially upgrade that to an adult obelisk, so that they can't get the power from that creature kill. However, then you run into the danger of, well, they see it's an obelisk and they just leave it. What do you do then? Like, you're stuck with an obelisk on that point for the rest of the game. So
yeah. So another thing I thought I was like actually using the obelisk, probably on one of your like more frontal points to like bait a summon there, or like bait a rotation from the enemy team. Like, oh shit, they're actually, they have a creature, let's go for that or something, and it's an obelisk, and you're like, haha, we were camping around here, and surprise them for that. That's probably pretty BM, but it would be a fun thing to just like bait people into a certain rotation. But
yeah, like, there are uses for the creature. I just feel they're so situational. Like, you're gonna be sacrificing a Bloom, a Serb, or a Cyclops, maybe a Drake if you run Drake. But honestly, in my opinion, running a Serb, Cyclops, and Bloomer is just the strongest creature setup right now, that you don't have room to slot in an obelisk.
Yep.
Because like Cyclops, you've got the power of the wall on certain points, like on Cyrus Strand C and B. Ghost Reef B, you have strong Sanctum at D, and then you've got like Serb is always great because of vision. You need to see where they're going, and then Bloomer for heals. Like, they're just so strong, it's just not worth running.
So there are a couple of things you might think are good changes to make them more useful.
I think a change, if they want to keep the 2 adults system, make adult obelisks pick up orbs.
Alright.
The main reason why is because, like, it's mainly got due to the same thing. You're not always going to have a baby to be able to summon it on a justified point for an adult obelisk, and it's not being able to pick up, like, having to go back and constantly pick up orbs is just going to destroy the creature. And then it comes to the point where it's more valuable for the enemies to leave it up than it is to kill it, which seems a bit weird.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that'd be interesting.
I mean, the fact that it doesn't defend it, like, the adult doesn't defend itself either, unless there's an orb there. I feel that's a bit... You're putting a focus in for that. Like, yeah. Like, at the moment, if you're going to run it, you want to run it in a party with more people than just you. Solo queue is never worth running, in my opinion. If you're in a group, you can do some more coordinate play where you have all the creatures. But, yeah, it's hard to justify an obelisk right now. The health definitely needs improving. So it's just not, like, killed in, like, 5 to 10 seconds. Like...
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I think definitely I agree on, like, just increasing the health. I think probably just giving them an attack or a way of defending themselves, like, in general, would be a good way, because they, like, only do that when an orb is up, like, right now, which is, like, almost, like, not a good percentage of the time, basically.
Like, it's like, the obelisk will only attack if there's an orb there, but why wouldn't you pick up the orb for power? Like...
Yeah.
Like, unless, like, the only time you'll never pick up that orb is if there's a fight happening there, so it's not safe to pick it up. But then that situation, like, you're going to take the fight, and the obelisk isn't really going to do anything anyway.
Nope. It's just going to laser at people.
Like, I don't think I've seen quite a few obelisks in solo queue, and even in, like, in some, like, group play games, not scrims, but, like, when we were grouping up. And I never saw it attack anyone, ever. Never. It was just there. It was just like, hi, I'm a pillar, kill me.
Kill me. It's like...
It's so pointless.
It's almost like they made it pointless so they... so people didn't see that they didn't actually make the like the visuals for the attack yet. It's like, yeah, we were lazy to do this, so we just made this useless. That's the obelisk conspiracy.
I would, like, when it was released, there were a few people who were summoning on back points and stuff, but the longer the creature has been in, the less that's happened. So it seems like people are learning, or I'm just not getting games with the people who are doing that now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think eventually people will learn, like, this is fucking useless, and let's not do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And only people will do it to troll, but it's kind of like, then you have to, that's one advantage of having the creature set up, that you need to, like, change before matches, before going into queue. So,
yeah.
like, people can go, yeah, let me just pick obelisk and troll every match right now. Like, you could do that.
Yeah,
you could actually do that,
no.
but usually people don't do that. It's only, like, if they...
Fortunately, like...
It's
we haven't got to that level yet.
it's only if they're feeding or something, then they just so yeah, we don't have obelisks as a very good troll creature right now.
No.
So mainly people will just swap it out again.
Pretty much.
Yep. I think that was obelisks. The other thing, so let's go over our expectations for the game in 2016, and then like close off with our like our main course basically.
Pretty much.
I think so we can just ramble on without having like this awkward close off.
Yeah, fair enough.
So we already touched a bit on our expectation of the game in like our previous episodes, but in general, so. Let's put this in the context of how 2016 was for Gigantic, which was rough.
Oh, ouch.
So yeah, let's go take a trip down memory lane. We're back in, what was it?
January? February?
Yeah, January. So first off, it's at the end of 2015 where we were I believe it was October or something. It was at the end of the year when the first round of layoffs were like 10% of the studio.
Yeah.
Like a pretty significant part, but mostly like community people and like Thor, like streaming guys and some other
it was
some other
more
people
the
that laid
like
off.
more the unnecessary people at the time were laid off, which is sad to see. But if you need to save money, you save money.
Yep. And then
they
in
took
January,
their Christmas break, and then came back and
nope.
got a bit worse.
Yep. So the entire studio got fired at the start of January, or like it was at the start. Like it was like the 6th or something, if I remember. It was pretty early in January. Like the entire studio got fired. The people were still coming
People were
to work.
still going and working, but just not being paid for doing it.
That's
That
pretty
was
insane.
And interesting. We also did have the 24/7 playtest, closed beta to playtest back in March, I think it was. I can't remember. That lasted a month or two before they shut it down completely again.
Yeah, because they got funding before that. So they got like, I believe they got funding. They got like the Perfect World thing going on, and then after like a couple of weeks, they were like, yeah, let's shut it down and let's go back to.
Yeah, then they decided like, let's focus on getting this game like justified and releasable. Which ended up on our point of view just being dead silence for 4 or 5 months, which was awkward because we didn't know if the game was alive. Like, we was kind of like, guys, hello.
We're still there. But yeah, how did the game change, and did it change for the better? I would say, fuck yes, it did.
Yeah,
I think,
game definitely.
Yeah, I think it's so much better. I believe there were a couple of like things that people weren't really happy with or something, but they turned out alright eventually.
Like, if you take the major mechanics, so back in 2015, the power system was passive generation for having creatures spawned. Now it's orbs will spawn on points. So it means you have a bit more control of trying to stop them generating power, other than you have to kill their creatures.
Yep.
Of course, this removes some of the importance of creatures, which I think is a good thing, because creatures are still important because they pick up orbs and they give you utility or supportive stuff.
Yeah.
So the creatures are still important, but the fact that we now have more control of the power system in terms of when we're playing is just a great from a competitive stance.
Yep, definitely, because mainly if you're playing mostly for competitive, and even in solo queue, if you're taking it a little seriously, like the thing that you want to do is like play around the orb spawns. Like that's where the shit is happening basically. So you want to just pay attention where the orb spawns are and just play around where that is mostly, because that's going to be the most effective play to fight for like a creature that's spawning an orb, in terms of like crippling the enemy's power economy basically. So the other I think we got like jump attacks and dodge attacks and stuff for melees, which is definitely a good addition.
We also had the talent revamp, where we used to have, was it 3 or 4 talents?
5 even.
5
wow. Even like on like.
Shows how much
no, sorry. You could choose like indeed 3 or 4. I can't remember, but like you had 3 or 4 times a choice between 5 talents.
Yeah,
I believe it was 4 times 5.
Yeah,
so,
that's it.
Because it
pretty
was
much
20.
You had a lot of talents you could pick from throughout the game. That obviously got changed to the current system, which is you can choose one once at level 5 for free, but that one part is obviously split in 2. So you pick one, you get something for that like level 5, and then one part for Clash.
Yep.
I feel that kind of makes Clash this more. Okay, we're now hitting Clash. I'm getting a power buff because of this talent. Of course, that gets thrown out the window if you're level 4 going into Clash.
Yep. Which sometimes happens.
Yep, I have had that happen a few times.
Yep.
It's very annoying. But like, I think from a new player's perspective, the current system is easier.
Yeah.
But the old system had more customization for the player. However, I do feel the old system was a little overkill we had a bit too many choices.
Huh?
I think I'm happy with the current system.
Yeah, I could roll with it. Like, don't forget the focus talents as well, like the other passives that we got on the focus talents, which is kind of the sort of abilities.
That's where the others came from, yeah.
So you still have some form of customization in that
So you
sense.
do, with that, like, with those being moved, you do lose a lot of the, like, focus talent stuff that you could potentially be doing with the focuses.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, the focuses are just strong in themselves, so
Yep.
you don't need the upgrades, I guess.
No, and it's also not particularly, like, the upgrades are for the focus. Oh, well, yeah, the focus upgrades were kind of awkward back in the day, because they were all the same. Like, you had, like, 3 or 4 different talents that you could take for focus.
Well, to be honest, all the talents were, it was, like, 5, 6 categories that are just shared across all the heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they had, like, 2 parts of all of them. And then the level 5, 6 or 5 ones were special for their abilities, and then the last level 10 was damage, stamina. What was it? Damage, stamina, and then like some other utility stuff that was the same for every hero.
Yeah, most of them were like stat boosts anyway.
Pretty much, yeah. Level 10s, you wouldn't see them too often unless, well, actually, no, we saw it a lot in EU because the EU meta was let's stay back and defend. But
it's a dang meme. The ancient EU meta.
That was horrible meta. That was horrible.
That was absolutely terrible. But yeah, we'll get back to that, to be honestly. But yeah, other things. I think the Guardian positions.
Guardian positions makes first wound easier to get. Adds some tactical play in defense of the first wound as well.
Yep.
Like, is it at the point now that if you're not going to get the first wound and it's full shield, you're better off leaving the wound? Because otherwise the Guardian will go back. I find that quite an interesting mechanic.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that actually is like a good decision, because
I don't know
if it's a good thing, because it's like kind of the main objective, and I don't know if there's ever a reason why you shouldn't be going for the main objective, like almost unless it's going to be
it's only ever the first time, the first wound, so it's the very beginning of the game when you would have choices of trying to get EXP at that point as well. Like killing creatures and stuff. So I don't know. Like, I semi-agree with you, but yeah, it's an awkward one.
Yeah, we had an example from one of our scrims this week actually, where Lunami's team actually went for the wound where we had like full shield or like a lot of shield, and we had this really good defensive setup, and they actually like tickled it. They just did like 150 damage.
No, like, it was 128. Oh, you could tell because it was Voden. Voden had 128 damage to Guardians at the end.
Oh, really? Nice. So yeah, they did 128 to the first wound. We had full shield, and then our Guardian went all the way back.
All the way back, and then they got another push, and they couldn't get there.
Nope. So you kind of want to pay attention to that, which is an interesting thing to see. Because so basically, if you get full shield on the first wound and enemies full on defending it, just don't go for it and like get something else.
Yeah, it could be worth maybe moving that threshold. Like, maybe if you do, like, about a fifth or a quarter of the damage of the first wound, it moves back. Because, like, if you're thinking it from a logical perspective, it moves back because it's took damage, so it's taking a, like, defensive stance. However, if you do, like, tiny bit of damage, like, if you get hit by something, like, and it does, like, nothing to you, you're not going to move.
Nope.
Whereas, like, if you do like a fifth or a quarter of his health, he's going to be like, "Ow, that hit!
Yeah,
that really hurt. I'm going to go back here now. I'm getting out of the way."
Yeah, I think so. Because
that mechanic would make a very interesting situation on Sirens. Because you will have to commit for that to push that Guardian back. I feel Sirens is the one where that mechanic is quite like. At the beginning of the game, you can't really push onto C effectively unless you have like a super jump if they have a Cyclops on C, or if they put like a Bloomer there or something. Just because the Guardian is so close to that point that if you try and take a fight, there's a high chance the Guardian gets involved. So you always want that first push just to push the Guardian back, so it opens the map for you.
Yeah.
So if you add like this, like you have to do like a quarter health to the Guardian to push it back, it rewards the defensive team if they manage to do that. But yeah, like I think on Sanctum, the Guardian doesn't really affect much because of its positioning, so it just there's no real harm.
Yeah, because it doesn't aggro you on the Guardian point.
Yeah. Like you have to get really like it will aggro you on the bridge heading towards A, but if you keep walking, the bridge covers you, so it does nothing in the end.
Yeah. All right. Any other of the mechanics? I'd like obviously the UI overhaul is a really big not canyons. Ghost Reef got rebuilt to an extent in the center. Yep. For the better.
Yes, definitely for the better. What else? I guess you could say things like Siren got edited a bit. Like for the D point before Clash. Like it used to be a ramp up to D.
Oh yeah,
and that's gone now.
Yeah, you get like the jumps.
I question that change. Because it just makes super jumps really fucking strong on that map now.
Yeah.
Like in competitive, I feel like you always have to run a Voden or Sven just so you can get to D.
Fast, you're like
yeah.
You can get to D, but you kind of want to have that super jump advantage to like make sure you make the
it's
rotation
like
fast
you're
enough.
not sacrificing anything to get to D using a super jump. Whereas if you don't have the super jump, you're either gonna have to walk all the way around to get in, or you have to blow your escape to get in. Which I don't know. That's a weird like setup. But obviously melees can get up there. On the little like part of the bridge that's still there. Melees can stand sprint 2D and melee attack up there, but that's only for melee, so range have to blow escapes.
Yep.
What else got changed? I guess Sanctum River got changed recently.
Oh yeah.
We talk about map changes, I might as well throw that one in. I think that was good. It doesn't really remove the issue of Sanctum, but it's a nice change.
Yeah, it's better to have like a little more cover against the Mani. It's like more of a band-aid, feels like it. It kind of solves the problem a little bit.
I always felt that Clash was worse than River, and Clash still hasn't been changed. So, the major issue of Sanctum is there because of Clash.
But I think Mortiga is definitely aware of.
I think they're aware of it.
What we're thinking of it.
Whether they're gonna change, like that's other things they've changed. Creatures' shields are a thing. Like bloomers having shields at range when they heal.
Yeah,
that's quite a major change.
Yep.
I guess just creature mechanics haven't really been changed. I guess orb picking up has changed since that got released.
So have they fiddled with like the time it takes for creatures to pick up orbs and stuff?
Yeah.
Have they kind of fiddled with that?
Like,
I believe they did.
The original orb system was the same time for creatures, whereas now adults pick up in 2 seconds or something like that.
Then we had at that time we had like kind of a meta where nobody would upgrade creatures for a bit because it like did not make sense to upgrade a creature over just spamming level 1 focuses. That was interesting.
I kind of like the fact that adults pick up really quick. Because it kind of is like telling you, upgrade your creatures. It's worth it.
Yep.
Of course, it comes down to where you want to do it. Like on Sanctum, you're better off upgrading C first than any other point. You can argue D and E because they're the forward points and they're your front line. But generally, if no fights ever happen, C orb will be the last orb to be picked up in a race or orb race. So it's always justifiable to summon there first.
Yep.
And also, just a serve on that point is just fucking stupid.
It really covers every single thing it should.
It covers the whole stairs on Altar. It covers pretty much the whole of River. and then like literally no one can enter your base without you lot knowing.
So that's why we kind of believe that the Mountain Cyclops on the middle point plus like a Cerberus Majoris is this rocks call it a checkmate.
Checkmate, yeah.
Checkmate.
Like if you're holding E, like say they have money and you don't, and you want to hold E, you just put a Cyclops, Mountain Cyclops on E and a Cerb or Cerb Majoris on C. No one will ever get behind. Like if they go Russia C, you see them coming from a mile away. If they try pushing into E, they all have to come through the staircase because the wall is blocking them from the other part. It means like if they're running Imani as well, Imani can't sit in that little window, or not window, the little ledge in the grass area just along the path because the wall blocks their sight lines. So it's like completely destroys that completely.
But like any other major, I think that's about it. But
that's the major ones. Then there's like
ones.
the odd minor balance changes with heroes and stuff, but we'll be going all night if we were to go through all of them.
Yep. But yeah, game's definitely changed for the better in general.
Definitely.
Absolutely, it plays much more smooth in some form. Just the general experience is smoother for me than it was a year back. And generally, I think that's just that should happen. Of course, over the course of a beta.
Pretty much.
But now that we have arrived in the present time, the only real thing to like speculate about is like what the release date is, and we kind of have touched on this, I believe.
Such a hard one to call release date.
Yeah, because there's one thing you could like relate this to, and the math for this is basically they want to release 4 heroes with like the Founders Pack. Every 6 weeks, 1 hero in 2016. So that would mean like
17. You said 2016.
Oh, really? There we go. There we go. I did it already. But yeah, so they want to have at least 24 weeks, which is 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
I
actually,
did do the maths before the show.
6
I'll
months.
go with it.
So
you
6
have
months.
To start from the December.
Yeah. So that's 5 months into 2017, which would be May. May? Yes.
Yeah, May.
So that's when they would have released all the heroes that are in the Founders Pack. So that's one thing to kind of like, they want to release with all these heroes, which is thing.
It's looking late spring, early summer.
So we're looking at quite the substantial open beta phase here, which I already expected and which we have touched on.
But then again, they might just let the Founders Pack flow into release.
Yeah, that's also that's incredibly possible as well. But
like,
this is...
I feel like my honest opinion, everything is relying on Arc. They have kind of hinted at the fact that they are willing to release without Arc. However, I feel they're going to release with Arc. I feel when Arc comes back, that is release. That's kind of my prediction of how they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Because like I did see like a few Reddit posts going like, well, open beta is pretty much the release game because there's no more resets and stuff. The game is pretty much there, and those are people just like, I think someone was like, well, what are they actually gonna add on release that's gonna change the game? And like I was just thinking, I was like, what would they do on release to make it like it's just gonna flow into it? And I was just like, well, then Arc release. When they release Arc, that's a huge change.
Yep.
So that's a good justifiable point for release.
Another thing would be like a large content patch like that they've stored up, maybe like a new map or something, like to release with like the end of open beta.
New map, maybe new 5th hero. Maybe more creatures, new creature family.
Yeah, I honestly think it would be like very good timing for really
obviously
big content
the downside of that is what happens after. How do they have the stuff to release afterwards so they don't break their rhythm going in?
Yeah, sure, but I think like to heap up a little bit, like honestly they don't have to stray away from their hero release schedule. But I think to just pick like, yeah, that's a good moment to release a new map or something, because they don't have
Yeah.
like a new map cadence or pretty
Yeah.
much. Like they haven't really talked about that, because maps are
Like-
obviously more work than heroes most of the time, because they
Yeah.
require more.
Sanctum Falls came back January, wasn't it? January, December time.
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
when did Sirens come out?
Sirens came out like at the.
Was it during the 24/7?
Yeah, probably, because when they like teased, they teased Paco like on that map,
Yeah.
I believe. Because then they released Sirens like pretty much.
Yeah, they
Because
kind of
as like a desperation move, and like they
to keep people playing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
which
to
should
show.
work.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was pretty successful, because we had like a ton of people coming in the stream, like Motikan's getting drunk and shit.
Oh,
it was
the
hilarious.
Motigan drunk stream.
It was hilarious. But yeah, I believe they released Sirens then, so it's been a year, like slightly less than a year since the last map. But yeah, I really wonder when the next is coming.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what theme and what type of map they'll go with.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, like with all the staff changes that's happened last year.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if the maps keep the same type of pattern or like layout, or whether it'll be like a completely different change. That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, because they got a new map designer like fairly recently. It's been like maybe 2 months or something since they got the guy.
Okay.
So I'm really excited to see what he brings up and what he
Yeah,
up
definitely.
Because like, if you get a new map designer other than someone who has worked on the game since like the beginning, maybe he'll like bring like a completely fresh perspective to it, which might be very
Next map
interesting.
will definitely be interesting to see.
Let's see. So yeah. Obviously, Motika's planning to release like all the heroes like every 6 months, or one hero every 6 months. I think it's a good cadence to
6 weeks.
Status. Yeah, fuck. 6 weeks.
I just like months. Wait, what?
Yeah, let's just do one every half a year. Although that wouldn't be new for Motika.
No, it wouldn't be new. But...
No. It's like, so we had Beckett, and before that it was Wu and Ashling.
I don't know. I wasn't in the game at that point.
So yeah, that was like Wu and Ashling released with like the end of Alpha. So so it's incredible.
And then Beckett, and then Paco got teased, shown, played, and then removed. Obviously, we had Roland also got removed.
Yep. Like Paco's probably having got a lot of changes, I believe.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Paco is when he gets released, whether he's the same. If he's like practically identical,
Like,
there's going to be a lot of questions.
Yep.
Like,
So
it must,
I do hope he's seen some changes for the better. I've not really played him all that much, but now that we got like a couple of teases from Motiga, of like a winter map and stuff. So
so it
I figure
like
he's close. He's close.
I'll be very curious to see if they theme each 6 weeks. That'll be interesting.
Oh, that'd be nice.
So it's looking like it's a winter theme for this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it will definitely be interesting to see what happens. Definitely hyped for a content patch. I feel we're kind of reaching that point where we kind of need something new now.
Yeah, I guess so, because it's been a while.
Yeah, we've had the whole of Christmas.
So
yeah,
honestly, on cadence, that would be next week, right? Somewhere.
No, I think it's the 19th. I think it's around the 19th people were figuring it out.
Oh shit! Right.
So a week Thursday, I think. Well, obviously Motiga haven't said anything, so
No.
This is all prediction. Don't take our fucking word that the patch is going to be on the fucking 19th, because we don't fucking know.
But yeah, then when's like, because they were doing weekly like content things with skins and stuff, so maybe we get something small next week.
Maybe they might do a small content patch or something. No, I don't know if they will, because I feel if they're gonna come back into doing regular updates after Christmas, they should probably start with the big content patch, then a small, here's some balance changes and a skin. Especially with that teaser. If they're gonna tease something like that, I guess they could get away with it. Like maybe they look at like what's been happening over Christmas and they go, "Oh my god, Trip's stun is definitely a bit too strong. Let's now patch that out now early because we need to fix that." I'm just calling out Trip because everyone is fucking talking about Trip. Yep. But yeah.
I can't go a day without a Reddit thread on Trip.
Pretty much.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So was that it? I think that's it.
Well, I guess we could if we want to, we can talk about what we expect before launch.
Oh, all right.
I feel like custom games would be nice before. I don't mind things like spectate being after launch though.
Yeah. I agree.
I feel the reason I say custom games before launch is just because of the way the competitive scene is right now. Like teams are finally waking up and becoming a bit more active. Like we've had a record this week of number of scrims we've played.
Yeah, we've had 10 games of 10 games of scrims, I believe, this week.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. We've had so many scrims this week, and from what I've been talking to, it doesn't seem to be slowing down. So it's like NA is also having scrims. Like we saw them last week with Art and Apex, and then obviously Art also played against the other NA team, which kind of formed around that time.
Yep.
Eternals, is it?
Yeah, they're called the Eternals. It's shit.
That's the one.
It's Voxel's team. I had like the date in my screen, so over your webcam. Good stuff. But yeah, they look really they look pretty good actually.
Yeah.
I was surprised in seeing how good well they did.
But yeah, before we end up going into our main topic stuff, let's move back to the...
Yeah, we're segueing already. We're slouching into that.
But yeah, custom games. Like I like custom games to come in. I feel... I don't know if this is Motiga or Microsoft. I'd kind of like the party system for the Microsoft Store version to be a bit changed, as in people can't just join you. It's kind of annoying that me and Andre, like obviously we were trying to duo queue stuff, and it's just like we always make the joke when Andre joins me. It's just like, thanks for the invite you never sent me. Like, it's just like,
yeah.
Because I know that was an issue back in the 24/7 closed beta back in like last year. Like I remember we were I think I did a stream and then I had 2 people join the party while I was AFK. Like, and you can't kick people from the parties, so you have to leave the party and remake it with whoever you're meant to be partying with. So that's a bit. I don't know if that's been changed, but from the looks of it, it's an identical system. But yeah, of course, I don't know if that's Microsoft or Motiga.
At least it works now.
Yeah, it works at least, but Xbox client crashes now and then. Sometimes it doesn't show the join thing as well, but nah.
It's alright. So we had custom games, like party system fixed. Like I honestly expect the next map to be before release.
Okay.
I think that's a reasonable expectation.
Yeah.
Because it's
either before or on release.
Yeah.
Like, I'd probably change that too for me.
Yes, even if release is like close to a couple of months away, let's say, then I definitely think that'd be a reasonable expectation.
Yeah.
Like of course, like we would have like a couple of new heroes. Following their
like obviously schedule. Like we could do the very simple expectations of I expect 4 heroes within this year. I expect some skins. I expect things like that. I expect the Founders Pack to not be on sale by the end of the year.
Nope. Still gonna be that $40. Still gonna be that $40. But other big features are fucking chat, please.
Yes, text chat. Like, voice chat, I don't care whether it comes or not. Just a fucking text box which we could fucking use, please.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, I always like fucking cringe a bit when we go back to alpha footage, because there's some on YouTube that has been like mandated by Mutiga, so you can see that and look that up. Like, hey, they had a text chat back then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like, no, why'd you remove that? But yeah, that's a complicated issue.
Yeah, it's
stated,
because
so.
it's like the Windows app system. It just doesn't allow it.
Yep. It's really weird. Other things, like, we've gone over this before. So yeah, I think just the really important things that people are asking about, just get that before release.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, if you don't have a text chat, people are gonna complain. Like, even fucking Rocket League has a fucking chat. Like,
yep. Even if it doesn't get used all that much.
It doesn't get used much, but it's there. Like,
yep.
if there's a heavy concern for like, oh, but Xbox users can't type, well then just do what Rocket League does with the like quick chat system.
Yep.
Like, that's a simple way of doing it.
Definitely. Yeah, we have that, but it's meh right now.
Yeah, it's definitely real meh. Like, the voice lines never get used properly. Pings rarely ever get listened to.
You can just you only have the one guy every once in a while who just spams, that goes like 017 and spams good work all game.
Oh god.
it's like the solo queue gods that roam the lands of Gigantic right now. I really enjoy the MMR system right now and just how it works.
MMR is really, like, we just I can't tell whether it's the MMR or just the lack of like players. Like, it's really hard to tell. It's just like top, like, we're like, I'm pretty confident to say I'm high MMR just because of the number of wins I have. But some of the matches, like, what they expect to happen just doesn't seem right. It's like, I will see like 3 people from my competitive team on the other team, and then it's just me on this team, and a bunch of people I don't know who are all walking and dying constantly, summoning every creature on the map every fucking time. Like, even when there's, like, I've legit seen someone literally stand on C point on, I think it was on Sanctum Clash, while there was 4 enemies hitting her. She just stood there summoning the bloomer. It was just like, why?
Why?
You're being killed.
Those are things the general player base is learning over time, because we finally get people actually going for wounds. I think that honestly that was like a big deal back in the day. Like, people just would not go for wounds.
The EU meta, just hold the front line, don't ever go forward. I still see that happen. It's horrible.
Yeah, it happens sometimes, but like the general player base goes for wounds way more often.
I think there's no downside of going for a wound. Like, if you die before the wound fucking ends, you give nothing. You just die. That's it.
Yeah, you give up a little bit of time if you get wiped. That's bad, but for the rest. But now you have people like sitting in front of your own guardian when it gets downed, instead of like actively defending.
So it's all about your own team attacking your own guardian during that first. Like, I've seen people attack my own guardian or their own guardian. That's sad to see. They have the right mindset. They're just at the wrong way.
Yep, she's at the wrong side of the map, sir. Just turn around. No, but it's honestly gonna get better.
Yeah, it will slowly get better.
Yep, like, and it's already really fun to see it happening over like this past year. But then I think it's time for us to get into our main subject with like 10 minutes before the hour. Of the show.
We're clearly going over an hour this week.
Yeah, we're clearly going over. So yeah, as we mentioned, we had a lot of competitive games this week.
Yes.
Against 2 different teams. 2 different new teams. Like, honestly, we're pretty new as well.
Yeah. Just as a heads up before we go in, me and Gaiex are part of Massive Damage, which is an EU team. So a lot of our talking on the competitive scene will always be EU focused. We of course watch the NA side, like we watch Art and Apex Scrim when they stream or they upload VODs and stuff like that. But obviously we're going to be more unknown in terms of that scene, so don't judge us if we seem EU biased.
Yeah, we don't know the NA meta as well as the rest. Yeah, what was I?
You were going into the new teams.
Oh yes, yeah. So we have new teams. One is Lunami's team, the remnants of the ancient GGT party.
Yeah, they've renamed to GG Royal.
Yeah,
if I remember right.
So that's Lunami, Killboy, and some other newer players, I believe.
You got Feculator.
Oh yeah, Feculator, of course, yeah. Then some people who came in during this open beta phase.
During open beta.
And then we have Brutal Fisher which is a team completely made up out of new players that we haven't not really heard before. Oh no, we have Artem.
Adrian, you know him from.
Yeah.
I think he did take part in GAs as well back in 2015.
Yeah, he might have subbed in a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played Amani back then. But yeah, so fairly
and you got Foos. You have Foos on that team.
Oh shit, but we haven't seen him play yet, so
well,
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, yeah. We'll see if
we'll see if
he might.
plays.
Yeah, we'll see if he plays. But he's listed on that team.
Yep. So what did we think? Like, we pretty much won everything fairly easily. This week.
I feel it's gonna take a while for the other two teams to catch up. Because obviously they're recently formed. They're not used to playing with each other all the time. Like, okay, there'll be like Lunami, Killboy who are used to playing with each other. Feculator used to play a bit with them, subbing in wise. But it's still going to take a while to get used to. Well, like me, Ardre, and Leadface have been playing together since 2015.
Yep.
Like, you and Rox have been playing together. Sturm even played with me, Ardre, and Led as a trial back in like early 2016. So we're used to playing with each other. We kind of know, we have our roles, we know what we're meant to do. So our plays are generally much more like we can instantly go for them.
Yep.
But I feel from looking at this, like from our perspective of the scrims, playing them, both teams have potential. Like Brutal Fissure tried to make some unfortunately we only had Sanctum Falls versus Brutal Fissure,
yes.
So I never got to see them on another map. And I think Sanctum is a horrible competitive map just because how easy it is to hold it. But
it just turns into a Snorefest most of the time.
But the fact that Brutal Fissure were willing to try and try and push in and play a bit aggressive, like pushing in to see when we were holding E, or like try to delay orbs as well. Like, that's definitely hopeful for them. It'll be interesting to see how they develop. Obviously, GG Royal have Feculator, Killboy, Lunami, who have been playing for quite a while, so their knowledge is there. I do feel their comps are a bit half-assed. They seem to be doing it on the fly. But you can definitely see their knowledge in terms of like what they do. But yeah, it'll just be interesting to see how they both develop, really.
Yeah, so we basically just want to see them play each other.
Yes, that's what I really want to see. Though GG Royal, I feel, need to get and fifth. I think they're only 4 and they have Mythic playing for them from Brutal Fissure.
Yeah, it's kind of an awkward situation.
Yeah.
They can't really play each other right now. Which is too bad, because I think that will
that'll really stop where both of those teams are at.
Yeah, definitely. So that will be like a way closer matchup, I believe. Because both teams have a lot to learn in terms of communication and stuff. Because
definitely,
we're definitely a lot of disconnects. Because we saw Brutal Fissure having their melees overextend a lot.
Yeah.
And being out in the out in the open, just where the rest of the team wasn't there.
Pretty much.
So that's definitely communication issues right there.
I definitely want to see them play each other, and see what results from that and how close it is between the two teams. If I was to make a prediction, I'd probably predict GG Royal just because of the experience on that team.
Yep.
However, I can see Peter Fisher winning it. But I think it'll come down to the map.
Yeah. It's also we can play Brutal Fish on other maps.
Yeah, I want to see them on other maps.
Especially Sirens.
I think we're scrimming them tomorrow, so
Oh yeah.
hopefully we'll get different maps.
Yep.
If we get Sanctum again tomorrow, I'm gonna cry.
Just look up the statistics. It's just the chance that we're getting the Sanctum Falls again is like dropping.
Yeah, well, we think it's dropping.
We do think. It's like the superstition right there. Like, of course, we had Sanctum Fall 7 times in a row. Like, there's no way we're getting it again.
Meanwhile, 8th game is Sanctum. Fuck! Yeah, like, it's nice to see EU growing. Like, there's still EU players out there looking for teams, and a couple looking to form teams, I believe, if they get off their feet, like, off their butt and go for it.
Yep.
I'd definitely like to see more teams. I do understand the concerns from like people like Baz about growing the competitive scene too quickly. However, I feel having like 5-6 teams is alright.
I only think that concern is valid if you consider Motiga actually going out of their way to organize stuff.
True.
I think the competitive scene can be as big as like the community can manage without Motiga actually getting involved in it. It's like if they dump custom games on it, we can self-sustain for pretty much ever.
This is kind of a thing that kind of came up was there is the feeling that Motiga are only going to do things in Gigantic when there's a need for them. So there's always the chance that custom games won't come until there's a need for custom games.
Yep.
So the fact that we're getting a few competitive teams together here and scrimming using the queuing system is telling Motiga indirectly, going, look, we want custom games to make this much easier for us. Motiga are definitely aware that this is happening, because they've been watching the streams I've been doing. And they're definitely taking, I don't know if they're taking notes on tactics, but I think they're taking notes of how the whole system is and how the game is and from a competitive stance.
Yeah, because right now it's just we queue up, you queue up, we wait 15 minutes for the matchmaker to put us together, and like it's
unless we get lucky with how last night was.
Yeah, it works pretty well. Like the percentage is pretty good of actually matching up against someone else, but
there was only one time in the past 2 months where we've had issues with trying to queue up with a team. The rest have it's just been along a few times, which is a nightmare from a streaming point of view, because it's like, well, now I've got to entertain for 15 minutes.
Yeah, but generally we get like the team talk and like the post game talks and maybe the pre-game talks for the second game, which is usually like entertaining enough for like the hardcore crowd.
Yeah.
To like get a glimpse into what we're thinking and shit and stuff.
Definitely.
But yeah, let's talk a bit about the meta right now.
I think there's a few metas kind of passing around. You've got the passive 3 DPS, like 3/4 DPS / one person kind of peeling or making plays like a Wu, trying to pull people into the line of fire of the DPSs. And then you have the aggro comps like Narcissus and Margrave. I believe in NA there's the aggressive style is more prominent because they're valuing Verdassi at the moment. There's definitely a more NA like Verdassi a lot, while I know my person, like from a support start of mine, I think Vadasi's strong. I think the armor and the heals that she can do to herself and to allies are strong. I just feel I'm very aggressive as a support, so the lack of utility other than the armor and the heal just doesn't. I don't like it as much. So is why I prefer my spend for the bounce pad, the debuff immunities, the heals, and the armor. With the Q pad, okay, it's been nerfed, but it's still there. You can't count it out. Yep. And my Zenobia for like CC, controlling them, knocking them about. I also play a lot of Wu as well. So I'm much more control the area, control the other team type support, which is why I also kind of lean into the initiation role of like Margrave Wu. But I'm definitely keeping a close eye on Vadasi. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. I don't know what your take on Vadasi is, though. Like, you want to talk?
Like I've not spent too much time like thinking about Vadasi. I played her a lot, when, like, before her last round of like reworks. But I haven't recently, so I can't really talk about it. I do not enjoy her in her current state. I think she's other.
I still have my joke and my promise to Ardre that I will buy a steering wheel setup and play Vadasi using the steering wheel setup.
That'd be fucking great to see that. Awesome.
That will happen at some point when I have the money to buy it.
I would like to see that. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
That's great.
I just find like that is another reason why I don't play Vadasi a ton. Like, I just find her kit really boring to play. I feel like I'm relying on my team much more. I can't make plays and stuff.
Yeah, I just think Vadasi's numbers are incredibly just high. I think just her numbers are high, and I think if you take that away from her, she's just useless.
Yeah, she's a number kit. It's really hard to balance her. It'll be interesting to see if Matiga does anything in the next balance patch. I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't really change, honestly.
Nope.
Because it's not like she's stupidly OP, where you can't deal with her. Like, you can deal with Vadasi. Like, you put poison on her on all her targets, and she gets a bit of issue dealing with the heals anymore. And then you put CC on her, and then she can't really go anywhere because she hasn't got escapes. Of course, depending on the Vadasi player, a lot of Vadasis I've been seeing like to run half health because of the orb management stuff. Yeah. Okay, her Q heal is quite strong, but if you catch her out and CC her or focus fire, like proper focus fire, where you have 3 people looking at her and shooting at the same time, she's dead just straight up. Yep. So,
yeah. So,
I guess the other type of meta that's currently in is there's a couple, I guess. There's the Trip meta and the Imani meta. Imani being for Sanctum and Trip just because of how strong she is at the moment. I guess if we start with the Imani one, that would make more sense. The Imani is pretty much, you run Imani on Sanctum Falls, you go to the D point, and then you just hold there completely, and you lock the other team out with the Imani. It gets worse in Clash because of how range dominant it is, especially if the Imani runs 3 bolts, 3 times bolts, because the damage that she pull off is ridiculous. It's like 470 or something per hit. And then you add boom bolts on top of that, and it goes into 500. It's fucking awful.
Yeah, 3 times is definitely more punishable though, because she has to be in the same place for longer.
She has to stay there. She has to have shot something else. She has to charge shot something else to get the 3 times, and then not miss a shot to lose it. You do have hard counters to her though. You could argue Trip is a hard counter with the stun combo. However, getting to her can be a nightmare if there's a serve on the other team or the other team is actually defending the Imani. However, the 2 that I am kind of behind with the counters to Imani is Wu with the extended tongue range. You can kind of pull her off sniper deck or the sniper point in Clash, and then Charnock Daze build. For those people who don't understand how the Charnock Daze build like strength is, it's the Daze knocks Imani out of the scope, so therefore she instantly loses that 3 times charge and all her damage. And it also puts her out, like she can't do anything for a second and a half, I believe.
Because like the army goes on cooldown for a bit, right?
Yeah, and also if the Charnock is really good at aiming and the Imani doesn't really dodge properly, Charnock can pretty much never let Imani have a 2 times, 3 times shot again. With how quick he can, with the charge, with the Daze timings. Of course, that gets countered if Imani drops off the ledge, but then you're forcing her into a more easier place to actually get her from. I feel we've kind of abused that, but we haven't gone like, no offense to the GG Royal and Brutal Fissure, I don't feel we've really hit a situation where we can really abuse that yet. Like when we played against Imani against Brutal Fissure, we just held E the whole time so that she could never do anything. And then in Clash we pushed to the second wound, took the second wound and killed a creature in Clash instantly. And then we rotated E, killed the creature that was on E. Was it E or was it D? I can't remember. Like the higher point. We killed that creature, we got the push, we ended the game. So Clash never happened, really.
Yeah, it went really fast. It was over real fast.
So we haven't really been able to fully test that. However, I feel if you're going to counter it, those 2 builds, or those 2 things are the main counters for it. Other than just poking her out with another Imani, of course.
It's like fighting fire with fire. Let's go. Yeah, if you know you have the better Imani player, you can just pick Imani into the other one. Just poke her out.
But I know my weakness with Imani is the fact that I don't run 3 times bolts a lot of R&B a lot. So I always run combat sniper and snapshot.
Because then you won't be able to take the sniper duels really all that much.
You can take them. It's much easier to dodge the shots with combat sniper because of your movement. I also am fairly aggressive with Imani in like pub games. Like I'll be like the second on the front line. Like I think there's a perfect example when I played Imani in the scrim. We pushed E because nothing was happening. We wanted to kill the creature, and we had like Charnock and HK kind of further back. Meanwhile, I was on the point shooting everyone. Like I played ridiculously aggressive. I shouldn't have been that far up, but. It kind of shows how my playstyle is.
Are there any other like core picks that right now? Of course, Griselma is another one.
Griselma's a niche pick. She's really strong against killing creatures.
Yeah.
And if you allow her to just kind of set up and do her thing, she will also do a ton of damage to you. I just feel that you can counter Griselma fairly effectively. Like you poke her to get into her portals, either early or later when you've killed the others. And if she places her 2 hands, you just run past them. Like unless she's running melee build, those hands aren't going to turn around quick. Like they're going to take quite a while to do in a 180 turn. So I feel it's definitely dealable. Or you can just out-rotate. Like, you see Griselma turn up, you just move on. Go somewhere else. Like...
You want nothing of those hands.
Like, it works really well. And you can do it on Sirens quite well. If you have a jump pad on your team, you can kind of just keep going backwards and forwards from C. Once you push their Guardian back, you can kind of just keep going backwards and forwards from C and D. Or their C and D, I mean. But, again, there's no real Griselma players on the other teams.
Nope.
So we haven't played it. We've run it.
We ran it yesterday.
We ran it. Yeah, we ran it twice yesterday on Ghost Reef and Sirens. I feel the way those games went, the Griselma did about same as if it was a rage DPS. Didn't
Yeah, I
really
think so.
add
No, I
anything
agree with that.
special.
I agree with that. It's
So,
like the thing about that was in the first Ghost Reef game, I had like a lot of trouble figuring out what I was supposed to do with Griselma in the first like couple minutes. I didn't do shit, but like once, and I actually watched the game back yesterday, and I was like, yeah, I couldn't really have done anything in this situation, or at least not as far as I can see now. But then once we went for those like more aggressive pushes, I started to do work. Because then once you actually go siege a creature like right in front of it.
I feel Griselma's strength really shines when her team gives her space.
Yeah.
If her team can pull space, like we were running like Wu Narcissus, I want to say, or was it Margrave? I can't remember.
I believe it was.
Actually, no, it was Mozu. Mozu, wasn't it? We had a Mozu on lead.
Yes.
Let me go look at the fucking comps. That might make fucking life easier.
Mm-hmm.
I have them written down.
Yeah, it's a Siren Stone one, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so once we actually went up to creatures, like I set up there, we were really aggressive on those creatures, and we just melted the creature, just killed everyone.
That's the comp.
Very cleanly.
Yeah, so we were running Beckett, Griselma, Charnock, Voden, and Wu.
So yeah, that's just full
I
range
was on
and
Wu. Yeah, pretty much. Of course, for Ghost Reef, we switched the Voden for HK. Just for that more DPS, because we don't need the super jump.
Yep.
So pretty much that comp, like we kind of just ended up while we were holding the center or like flirting with the center of Ghost Reef. It was just me kind of jumping around trying to see if I can get a pull into you lot, which is fairly effective in that. And then Sirens was kind of like we put a sub on C, we go to D, we hold D, and then pressure them if they decide to go for C.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had some really good counter engages in that game.
Yeah.
But do you have a thing about you want to say about ORU games still, or should we move on to NA for a bit?
I think like while we're talking about comps, let's talk about Trip.
All right.
One of the main things, like this is going to be like me talking a bit into the NA scene as well. From watching the Apex art games, I feel no one abuses Trip at all in competitive. Like you have 3 seconds of CC right there on Trip, and no one has used it yet. Actually, I think we kind of used it on the Sanctum game when we were running Wu Trip.
Yeah.
However, you could have replaced that CC with a Margrave or something, like or a Narcissus, and it would have achieved the same thing.
Yep.
But I feel Trip CC currently is just stupidly strong. Like Trip, like there was several situations. Like if I take the art Apex game, I feel there was a couple of situations where if Trip was around the like what was it, the C point, their C point, when the Wu went in, there was a couple of points that if Trip was near there, she could have kicked into stealth stun combo, which could have been followed up by the Ashling and the DPS.
Yep.
Which could have potentially got them picks. However, instead the Trip was over on the stairs, kind of giving sightlight, like going, this is where they are exactly. Then you also have the thing that you did a video on where the Trip could have gone and scouted the back lines, worked out what was back there, potentially go to kill those bloomers that are back there. I feel one of the things people might want to start abusing is the fact that Trip can get back there and out just to get information. Like, if Trip isn't doing anything, you might as well go get information. And then if they kind of, if she goes checks and she's on her way back and the fight starts, she's in a perfect location to flank. Like,
yeah, definitely.
We've unfortunately didn't have Ardre a lot this week, so we haven't been able to run. Then again, we're running Taito a lot more than Trip at the moment, just because we prefer Taito.
And the dodge attacks, exploits.
Those dodge attacks.
The fucker's impossible to catch, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's definitely a thing that we should try to figure out, and that we're planning to go figure out more. Like those backups things, because we're also
I think there's several things we want to try out with trip backcapping, and like putting pressure on and then letting Trip get time to do stuff. Especially with Power Surge. But I don't want to talk too much about it because one, I don't have enough information on how they work, if it would work or not, and two, I kind of don't want to give information to the other teams until we've run it.
Oh sure. So yeah, I think the state of the NA teams at the moment.
I think they're definitely strong teams. I just feel they've been playing against each other for so long. They're just kind of abusing how each other's play. Which can become scary when they play, if they were to play a suddenly good team in NA.
Yep.
It'll be very interesting to see what would happen in that situation, but part of me feels what will happen is more NA teams will come up and they'll just kind of break out of those molds.
Yeah, I think that kind of breaks into Baz getting baited into a conversation on Reddit yesterday. I thought it had interesting points, because the guy said he completely dismissed Apex and Art's experience, of course, which I don't really agree with, which is kind of dumb. Then he said things like that because they have only been playing against each other, they kind of get short-sighted on some things. And they don't see the full picture, and I think I agree with that, and I hope
he had some over the top thoughts and some semi-respectable thoughts.
Yep.
I respect Art and I respect Apex. I think they're both solid teams. I feel if we were to play against them on a LAN environment, it would be fairly good games between us. I'm still a little annoyed that NA players still ignore EU and us. Just as an FYI to people, pretty much everyone in our team, apart from Sturm, has been playing since 2015. Me, Led, and Ardre have been on the top EU team, who were pretty much at similar levels to Art and Apex or Renegades as they were back then in 2016. So just saying, we were up there, and I'm pretty sure we could have potentially, because I know we communicate with Apex a lot. Our communication with Art is very shady. It doesn't really happen.
Nope.
I know there's been potential setting up of scrims, but I feel we're very iffy on playing NA servers, especially because we've been stuck on doing that for quite a while.
Well,
and time zones as well.
Yeah, we finally got EU servers. Just please.
Yeah, we just want to play EU. Let us plus. And it feels so good.
Honestly, right now, with EU teams coming up, I think it's better for us to just keep grinding out those EU games and making sure the other EU teams get better. So we can play on a more respectable level there.
Pretty much.
And honestly, I really enjoy just watching the NA. Scene just
it's an interesting scene to watch, especially I think both scenes are great scenes to be watching at the moment. I feel you have top teams in both regions with us and then Apex and Art on the other side, that the new teams can be looking at and learning and getting things off.
Yep.
Not to say that Voxel's team is a bad team. I feel they could easily catch up with Apex and Art with the people they have on that team.
Yeah, shit. They have Bobo and Packers and stuff, incredibly good players. So I'm really excited about them. In a couple of months, or in 2 to 3 months probably, if they scrim actively, they'll be on
they'll
a
catch
really good
up
level.
Fairly quick. Yeah, because they have solid players mechanically in there. Watching them play against Art, okay, Art did win all the games, but there were definitely positives from that team.
Yep.
And that wasn't even their main lineup either. So.
No, they're Voxel's subbing in. Voxel's going all coachy.
Yeah.
On there. So. Let's see other things. I'm trying to think of other things, but I'm running out. Other things I want to mention.
Sorry, what was that? I missed that. I kind of zoned out. Sorry
Oh,
about
yeah, shit.
that.
No, I'm thinking about things that I still wanna talk about, but I kind of
It's
I'm
kind
running
of
out.
like the competitive scene is really hard to talk about right now. Just because yes, we have scrims. Most of the scrims are one-sided. Because people are still learning and getting used to. Because competitive scene is as much as competitive has been going since 2015, maybe even before then. Um,
Yeah, we got
the
the alpha
game,
tourney and
the
shit as well.
game has fucking changed so much since then that you might as well just call it a brand new fucking era for competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it'll be interesting. Well, yeah, I think it's something we want to keep watching. Hopefully, like scrims will keep happening; they won't die out. Hopefully, teams won't fold anymore. Like EU has suffered so much from teams folding and regrowing and stuff.
Yeah, even in the G8 times and stuff, which just
Mm.
teams forming up and just dying instantly after losing 1 or 2 games. Like, you can't really let that happen. Like, I think that I've seen it so often. I've like been in this business of helping people form teams and stuff because I did a little job at some at a local like esports organization, so I kind of had that there. But yeah, I saw that so often that like people had such skewed expectations of like their first couple of games together. It's like, yeah, we're just gonna
Yeah,
stomp everything immediately, but no. It's not how it works. It's not how it works.
yeah.
Um, it definitely takes a lot of time to get into there, and you just gotta
Mm.
stick it out
Yeah.
for a bit.
Like, I know we're publicizing pretty much every scrim we do if we get permission from the other team, mainly to help the scene grow, so that people can kind of work together. Because I feel early on we're going to have to kind of help each other out to
Mhm.
grow. We can't do things like we can't be like all like okay, you can be secretive with your stuff if you want to. It's your call. I personally would like to help. Like, for all the EU teams, I've pretty much said to them, if you want me to analyze your games, just tell me, and I'll see if I can fit it in.
Yep.
Like I tried a stream a few days back where I tried to analyze videos. Technical difficulties occurred though, but I managed to get a couple of games in there. But yeah, yeah. I feel keep helping, encouraging each other is going to be huge to keep this scene alive. And as the game grows, it will eventually grow and hopefully be a decent community.
It's looking good right now. It's looking on the upswing finally again.
Yes.
So lots of good stuff to come. And I think that's kind of a good point to stop it for today. I guess we've
Pretty
gone on
much.
for like an hour and 20 minutes.
Hour 20.
Respectable amount of time.
Yes.
So yeah, let's go on to some shout outs.
Yes.
Just go ahead and pluck your shit, Racky.
Okay, so you can follow me on Twitter at Rakychu. Actually, wait, I should be typing at the same time.
Yeah, just go ahead.
At Rakychu
With an
on
E.
Twitter. Yeah, with an E.
Whoops.
Rakychu on Twitch. I don't really have a YouTube. Just follow them. This week. Oh, okay. I plan to stream every day but Tuesday. I'm very busy on Tuesday, so nothing will happen. As I also said just a little bit ago, I plan to stream our scrims, providing I get permission. Follow me on Twitter to find out info on that, or follow the Massive Damage Twitter. More to the point, that will probably have more the actual tweet, and I'll just be retweeting it. But yeah, I plan to try and stream every day. I don't know if tomorrow is going to be me playing or doing analysis. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out. See how I feel. I do feel like playing a bit, so I might just do a duo or a solo queue stream. But yeah, that's my plan.
All right. Now, that phase when you thought your chat was empty for the entire show, and then you refresh the page, and there's a lot of shit in there. I'm pretty salty now, and I noticed that Weirdest Taxi Driver is not a mod, so I'll go mod his ass right now. Because you can't have a Weirdest Taxi Driver not being a mod. So my shit is at Gaiex. At Gaiex on Twitter. Gaiex on Twitter.